Trump campaign is vowing to take legal action against the US electoral system, insisting illegal votes are pushing Joe Biden ahead. Joe Biden still remains on the cusp of becoming America's 46th president, according to Fox News projections, as he increases his lead in Nevada and closes his margin in Pennsylvania. Sky News Outsiders co-host James Morrow and Rita Panahi filed this report just a short time ago from New York.
Well, good evening, Gleeso. Great to be with you here from New York City. It's a city that is on the edge here, as the country is under edge, in deciding who's going to be the next president. You might hear some helicopters that are churning about overhead. There's some demonstrations already going on downtown from where we're staying, all complaining about the fact that Donald Trump is still president and hasn't been marched out of the White House by the hard progressive left. We've had a bunch of news today. We've had Donald Trump give a big speech.
We think we will win the election very easily. We think there's going to be a lot of litigation because we have so much evidence, so much proof, and it's going to end up perhaps at the highest court in the land. We'll see. But we think there'll be a lot of litigation.
And we've seen now breaking news that in Nevada, they have opened an investigation from the Department of Justice and the Attorney General into potentially 3,000 or more cases of people, Rita, voting in Nevada after they'd already moved from the state. So some really interesting things happening right now. It looks like Donald Trump is going to take the Democrats to the mat about issues and concerns about shenanigans in the voting process.
Well, there's court action underway already in multiple states. We've had in Pennsylvania today the GOP go to court to make sure that they are given access to monitor the count. Their poll observers are supposed to be there, but they've been denied entry to some of these polling stations where they're counting. And they've gone to court and been granted access. They can have to be within 6 feet because of social distancing, obviously. But despite that court order, some of them are still not getting access. The count is going ahead without any GOP observers there. And that's what the concern is. They're not saying stop counting. They're saying count with someone observing and ensuring that the correct process is being followed and the votes being counted are legitimate.
And Gleeso, it's a really toxic thing that's happening right now. You know, we saw all of the concerns about legitimacy in 2016. We've seen this going on, you know, every time the wrong side loses in politics. But the Democrats here really have, I think, an obligation, Rita, to be as transparent as they can with this process because, you know, in being secretive, and we've seen lots of cases in Michigan, in Pennsylvania, and elsewhere, where they are running the process in a secretive fashion. I think there's no other word for it, when there should be nothing to hide. And, you know, the best way to put Donald Trump's claims about something going wrong and shenanigans or whatever chicanery happening would be for them to be really transparent about it. But sadly, Rita, we're not seeing that.
Well, you look at a state like Florida, 21 million people. They counted all their votes quickly, transparently, and gave a result on election night. That's the way it should be. If Florida can do it, a state of that size can deliver, then there's no reason why Nevada, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, the rest of them have to drag it out for days and days and put everything in this crazy limbo, and again have people mistrust the process even more.
And it does seem to be like it's an effort to get people to distrust the process and in fact distrust the president and his claims to muddy the waters. Gleeso, it's going to be days, if not weeks, before we have an outcome here in the States. So we'll keep coming to you and letting you know what's going on.
There they were, James Morrow and Rita Panahi, of course, co-hosts of The Outsiders.